And, the Lord had given me a word like 2012, 2013 in a video that God would use Senator Joe Manchin, believe it or not, to be a blessing to the United States right before the rapture.
And to go back to your point about Manchin claiming he doesn't like attention, I mean, it's like the guy is writing op-eds in newspapers regularly to, a handful of notable times in this early presidency of Joe Biden, talking about why he's not for this and why this and that and why we need to compromise. For a guy who doesn't like attention, he's taking a lot of meetings and writing a lot of op-eds that no one's forcing him to write.
Yep, and he goes on cable news all the time. You could probably argue he has more power than Chuck Schumer, right? I mean, like,
in some way.
When you think about the most powerful people in Washington, obviously Biden's going to be at the top of the list, and you can come up with some other people as well, but Manchin's right up there with them.
No doubt about it.
The point is, brothers and sisters, is we have two Josephs in America. And then in Israel, there was a word before about two Benjamins. They would have no government, and there would be two Benjamins, and they talk about this Benny Gantz and Benjamin Netanyahu. But
it is a big deal and would make this country a better place.
John Oliver is calling out two Democratic senators for holding up President Joe Biden's $3.5 trillion government overhaul plan. According to the White House website, the Build Back Better Act plans to create jobs, cut taxes, and lower costs for working families, all paid for by making the tax code fairer and making the wealthiest and largest corporations pay their fair share. During Sunday's episode of Last Week Tonight on HBO, Oliver noted that to pass the bill and avoid a filibuster, every single Democratic senator must be on board. But two of them, Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, are holding it up.
Moderates like Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin argue it costs too much.
Yet Sinema and Manchin need the support from their more progressive counterparts to pass a related $1 trillion public works bill that they want to pass. Oliver went on to talk about how a group of people kayaked to talk to Manchin about it while he was aboard his yacht.
I am not sure which stage of capitalism we've reached if we're now kayaking out to a politician's yacht to beg him to help the poor, but it's got to be one of the last ones.
Oliver then called out Sinema for getting smart with a reporter who asked what she would, quote, say to progressives who are frustrated they don't know where you are. She responded with simply, quote, I'm in the Senate. He wrapped up by again emphasizing how the bill could, quote, benefit people's lives.
If you are blocking it, you owe people more than vague platitudes shouted from the back of a boat and a cutesy I'm in the Senate comment.
For more on this story, go to thr.com. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Tiffany Taylor.
And then people that are not so known, maybe people from YouTube and all that, Watchmen and people like that, are saying that it's time for the rapture right now. So the thing about the rapture is the Lord will come as a thief in the night. The Lord's coming back at an hour we least expect, and he doesn't want us to know when the rapture is going to be. So what I always say to those who are waiting on the rapture, including myself, we're not called to stand around and just stare at the sky. We're called to occupy till he comes. And we should be busy about our Father's business, because in Matthew 25, Jesus said, blessed is that servant. When his master comes, he finds him, busy. And that's what we should be doing, brothers and sisters. And then let's hope, we pray the Lord will come back tomorrow, but ready to work until he does, even if it's a year from now, 10 years from now, whatever.